Amidst the AI era and everything else that makes our life comfortable today, where we can get information in a few clicks, in a snap of a hand, or a few really good prompts. How do we actually make an online course in 2025, 2026, and beyond? That is one of the questions that I got asked because they were thinking, okay, like if a course actually consists knowledge and we can get knowledge in a snap of a finger nowadays, or a few good prompts with ChatGPT, Claude, and other AI tools, how can we create an online course that people would actually want to consume and at the same time people would even want to buy? And they wouldn't say, okay, hey, we can just Google this or we can just type a good prompt in ChatGPT and we're going to get answers from this. And that is a really, really good question. Today I'm going to answer that very question for you. Now, why should you be listening to me? Hello, my name is Dami Bernice. I have created online courses since 2019. I have 9 under my belt with 7,000 students in the Philippines and beyond, and I am here to tell you exactly what I'm going to do if I'm going to be starting from scratch and creating an online course with the knowledge that I have now. Now, let us begin. The first thing that I would like to do is to sell an online course with these 4 very items or things. Now, you could have all of this 4, you could have just 1 or 2, but the best course, of course, is going to have 4 of these very things as course features. Now, the first one is transformation. Now, a lot of gurus and people out there have already told you that, hey, you should probably sell transformation, not an online course. And that is because, guys, it makes me freaking crazy when I see online course contents that are out there, PowerPoint presentations of people discussing WH questions. Are you freaking kidding me? So you have created an online course that looks like a class report with WH questions. Why or where, like all these WH questions, unless you deem that it is necessary for people's background knowledge. But if it is the only thing that you have in your course content, you really have to change it. One of the things that I'd like to do when it comes to creating online courses is creating a playbook. So I use my knowledge, my unique experience, and write a playbook style. Think about it as writing a standard operating procedures document. The first thing that I write in the playbook, if you want to be able to create an online course that has transformation in it. So I'm going to put the purpose of this very lesson, or the objective, like why are we discussing this very lesson, why is it important, and then we're going to discuss the outcome. So if this is important, what outcome are we going to get out from this? And then after that, I'm going to talk to you about the step-by-step process of how we can get that very outcome. That's a playbook style direction of creating an online course, and that's how I create online courses. Even the version 2.0 of my very first course that we are able to scale to 7,000 students, so to a lot of students. So that's something that you can do, is create transformation. Transformation doesn't only happen when they finish the course. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And then a lot of students also come to me and they're like, Demi, I haven't really finished your course. And I'm like, that is okay. If you are able to get transformation in like module 1 and module 2 and you haven't really read or viewed module 3, 4, and 5, that's completely okay with me. The reason why I have created a very detailed signature course for you is because just in case you are, you haven't really gotten your breakthrough yet in module 1 and 2, then you can continue reading and going through module 3, 4, and 5. But otherwise, if you were able to get your transformation in the first module, that's like good news, right? Good news! She's dead! The Witch of the West is dead! Ooh. The Witch of the West is dead! Transformation doesn't happen when they have finished the course. So that's one thing that I'd like for you to erase in your mind, is that I'm going to create a course that people are going to finish No. Create an online course that actually offers transformation, regardless if they have finished a course or not. Period. Okay, just make sure that you're able to write it in a standard operating procedures directive. It looks like a playbook, all these things. That's super, super important. Don't just randomly put up, PowerPoint presentations and talk at the PowerPoint presentation. This is not a class report that you're going to be doing out there, my lady. Okay, so there's that. Second thing that you would like to include in your signature course or any course that you're going to ever have is access to you. So access to you is very important, and hopefully you are offering access to you at a premium price, because then if you have a lot of students coming in and you're only one person and you allow them to have access to you for a very small amount, then you're going to resent yourself not having time for anything else but, your students. So you are positioned as an expert and as an authority, and of course they would want to get access to you because it makes them feel calm. They are seeing the possibility that you are the person that has that very outcome that they want to have in life. And thus, they would like for you to be closer because it gives them the hope that they can also be like you, right? Or at least have the knowledge that you have. And so you would want to make sure that you get access to you features. As long as you're able to price it properly, this shouldn't be a problem. You're only going to go down the rabbit hole or the spiral if you're going to charge very, very little with your online course, especially if you added an access to you feature. And again, this is not necessary for all the courses that you're going to be creating. It's probably a few. I usually put my access to you features on signature courses. If they're mini courses, like taste test courses, what I call them, buyer's book, I don't really put access to you features on there because it's going to overwhelm me. So what are these types of access to you features? So you can do voice notes, you can voice note exchange, you can chat with them, email exchange, you can also do group meetings or group coaching calls, one-on-one coaching calls. Depends on you, on what you can handle and you like doing. Very important, right? And so you'd want to make sure that this is something that is also included in your signature course, priced properly. Third one, you probably heard about this already, but I'd like for you to consider adding a community in your signature course. Now, communities have been revolutionized by, of course, the Alex Hermosi because of school.com. When I was starting out, communities were always like Facebook groups, and it's a non-negotiable. You have to put a community there. Community now is more of like a 24/7 access, or it's very active. It's a thing that people go into. Like, it used to be more passive than it was before. And that is why I threw the Facebook group concept out of the window, and I have changed that to group chats, messenger group chats, WhatsApp group chats, Telegram, all of these things, Slack. I haven't really dabbled into school.com yet. I am in a couple of school groups, but I just don't have the bandwidth as of the moment to be able to create one. But I am considering adding more community feature in my entire thing, because I feel like that's very important, and that's also the reason why one of my courses became successful, because there was a very active community then. And so I would like to put that in again, but it's just a little bit different than it was before. So instead of like creating content for the group, I want it to be like a very access to you sort of interaction also. So yeah, those are just my rough ideas on how you could create a community, but I would love for you to consider putting that in your signature course to make sure that it sells, and then of course it's easier for people to consume. Last one is shortcut. So adding a shortcut, and that is the reason why people of course buy our courses, is because they want to have a shortcut or an easier path towards success. Now, but a lot of people don't really create, they don't create shortcuts. They create more and more assignments, more lessons, more everything else in order to get to the outcome that people want. And that is why a lot of people don't really finish the lessons, right? That's a reason, but it's not really a bad thing, right? As long as people are getting the transformation that they need, and that's completely fine. These are the templates, like the plug and play systems that they can use. It's like something that you have done for them prior, and then they can just jump in into whatever device they are using, and then they can start creating, right? And then it expedites the process of the person's outcome. And so if you just put in templates, I'm a big fan of them. I like templates, but it's just that a lot of the templates nowadays are AI generated, so I'm like, I don't really want that now. So if you can create something that is not AI generated, that cannot also be pulled by your audience through AI, then that's great. That's a really unique template that you can use to help expedite the process, and that's what's going to make your course valuable. Now, that's just one. There are four more things. The second thing that I'm going to do, if I'm going to start over again and create a course in 2026, 2025, and beyond, well, I'm going to pre-sell it first before I actually make the whole thing. Guys, I cannot describe the amount of people that I've gone through, met, talked to when they are talking to me, especially the new course creators. The course creators that have already sold their courses where you are out of this very scenario, good for you. But if you're a new online course creator and you haven't created an online course before, it seems to me that almost all of you guys are already set with the online course that you would want to make. And I'm like seeing it in a different light, because if you're going to think about it in a business perspective, you cannot create a product without a demand. And that's the same thing when you are creating an online course. It's not like, hey, I have this product in mind, I have this online course in my head, and it's going to be awesome because I'm the one who created it and I'm an expert in this very knowledge. Good for you. How do you know that it's something that your people want? Have you ever confirmed that your audience actually wants that problem to be solved? What if they have a very specific problem that they want to be solved right now in this very moment, and your course does not answer any of that? And so they're not going to buy, of course, right? And so that is why I am a big fan of pre-selling. This is one of the things that I have taught in one of my mini courses called Paid to Build. You can purchase Paid to Build in the description if you want a full-blown, step-by-step process on how this is done, just so you don't make the same mistakes that other online course creators make, which is like to make the online course in full before they actually market it. So with pre-selling, you actually market it first to see if there's a validation, people are going to willing to pay for it, people to actually sign up for the wait list and pay in half before you actually make the whole thing. There are so many ways in order to validate that this very course is actually something that your people would want from you, and that's amazing. You're not going to waste months and even years in creating an online course, because sometimes it can take up that long. But you know for a fact that when you are undergoing that journey, people would actually want to buy it. That's great, right? And you can even ask for an initial payment because you have the softwares that you are supposed to pay for, all these things. You can run a live class, get paid firsthand, and then re-record if you want, right? Re-record or use the recordings that you have in your live class as a course that you're going to sell. You have not only validated the idea of your online course, but you've also understood what it looks like to get feedback in real time with your students. You can adjust and tweak your online course a little bit. There are so many things that you can learn from just pre-selling and creating a live class after, right? And so if you want a more detailed walkthrough on this, you can purchase my course called Paid to Build. It's a mini course. You can finish it in like 3 days, very easy and simple. I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can enroll to it. Third one that I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to start all over again, is to focus on one signature product. This is actually what I've done over the years. And if you're going to say, are you sure you have like 9 courses under your wing? The reason why I am telling you to only focus on one signature course at a time. Of course, you can create more signature courses later, but I mean, like, for the time being, focus on one. And that is because I don't want you to underestimate the amount of work that needs to be done when you are creating and marketing a course. Because curriculum usually comes in very easy, most especially if you're familiar with your information or your subject matter like it's the back of your hand. It's going to be very easy for you to create that. What's going to take most of your time is really the selling of the entire thing. And you'll be surprised that, most of this whole online course creation thing, nobody told you, but marketing is actually a really huge chunk of it. Okay, so that's one thing that I'd like for you to consider. And that would also lead me to my last one, as the fifth one, is this very, very fact. And if there's anything in this video that I'd like for you to take away, it's this one. That if your current course is not selling, you don't need a new one. Okay? Like, you don't really need a new one. There's people that I see that are creating online courses and they make their first one, and then when the first one is not selling, then they proceed to the next and to the next and to the next. And believe it or not, people are also telling me that I'm doing that. Not really, no. So the reason why I have 9 courses is because I didn't really make an online course after an online course after an online course. There are so many things that happened. I was actually testing multiple things on how to sell a signature product. So I had 3, and then there's so many things. I created many courses to ascend them to the signature course. I created webinars, all of these things. There were so many things that happened in the past few years because I was really testing every single one that people are telling me to do in order to market my online course. And I'm going to tell you the secret about that in the next video, but like all of them actually works. Right? I'm going to discuss every single one of them in the next coming video. You don't need to worry about it. But I was really doing like testing and how can I market an online course better, because I wanted to teach that to people and at the same time, of course, make money from it. That's actually the idea of Maia, or my strategy and growth studio that I have right now. I passed through the 3 years just testing marketing. And now that's why I'm coming in here. Yeah, like just super happy because of that very experience. But going back to the idea, I don't want you to like create an online course and just because this one is not selling enough, then you're going to create another one. And I was like talking to one of the people that I have met, over like the course of the time, getting clients, getting students, online course creators, all that kind of stuff. But the online course creator community, he told me that like, hey, what do you think? I have this great idea and I think that I can create like 16 courses in a year out from this thing. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Like the horror in my face while I was reading his text, and I'm like, 16 courses? Are you kidding me? Like even one mini course is going to take a while. I would say 1 to 2 months if you're going to do a mini course, right? And then I don't know, like if he's going to be creating like 16 signature courses in 1 year, like what life do you have? But kidding aside, I don't want you to underestimate the amount of work that needs to be done, and I'd like for you to focus on marketing, right? Because that's really the goal. If you want for your online course to sell, and you cannot just create an online course and just have it collect dust, you're really going to have to go out there and market it. It's like writing a book. Like people would always say, yeah, I have to write a book now, and then after that just write another book, and then another book, and then another book. Like what if all of your marketing efforts actually focused on that very book, and then after you're able to market that and get that to the bestsellers list, then you can move on to the next one, and then life would be a lot easier. So those are 5 things that I'd like to share to you, the things that I would do if I'm going to be starting over again and create an online course in 2025, 2026, and beyond. And I hope that you have learned a lot. If you have enjoyed this very video, I would like to ask for you to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of content in the next following weeks about creating courses and everything else online business that I'm very excited to share with you. And of course, if you are an online course creator and you feel like you just need someone to market this whole thing, you want to focus on creating curriculum and you want to hand the marketing to someone else, that could be me. I'm not saying it's me, but it could be me. My company, Maia, which is a strategy and growth studio for online educators like you and me, is welcoming clients every single day. And so if that is something that is interesting to you, I would like for you to check the link below this video, see if we are a good fit. And if we are, I'll be happy to work with you and show you the deepest trenches and showing you how to maneuver the world of online education business. And so there you have it, folks. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.